Let them lose you. Let them walk away. Let them miss the light that you bring and the kindness you offer. Because, my friend, it is not your task to prove your worth to anyone. You have always been worthy. Sometimes it hurts to let go of the person you want, but you must make room for the one you deserve. They may not be the same, but know this: you have always been enough, always. Let them leave and trust the journey. One day, they will realize that no one will love as deeply or as purely as you did. So let them miss out, because someone wiser and kinder will see your worth and hold on to you, and they will never let go. And until that day comes, focus on yourself, grow, shine, and become so strong that no one will ever make you doubt your worth again. Your journey doesn't end here. It's only just beginning.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? One time, March 25th, 2026, Wednesday. How we doing out there, Spotify family, one time? We hope, and it's been a minute since we have talked, right? And my apologies on that. I apologize to the fan base. You know, we have a good amount of fan base. We're heard in a few nations now, family, right? At the end of the day, you know, the East, we don't call it the Middle East, because the Middle East is a colonial term used by London, right? This is something you can look up on the books that deals with that part of the world centered around England, aka Europe. We don't follow the colonizer like that, family. That's not what we do here. Okay. You see a lot of stuff in the East going on right now. We pray for peace. There is much talk. There is much talk, family, that's going on. We hope that y'all are studying. We hope that y'all are looking. We hope that y'all are assessing. Let's look at the word assess real quick. Just before we get into today's conversation, it's going to be around the TV show Bridgerton. Family, you got to understand that where we live in, how we live, I should say, has been passed down. No different than the Jews passed down things from the Torah. No different than our Muslim brothers and sisters passed down things from the Quran. No different than your Christian brothers and sisters passing down things from the Bible, which is pulling from, again, the Semite, the Jew, okay? We know we get into that spiritual space where we're all one and all that kind of thing. But again, it's pulling from that. We're not going to act like that's not a thing, because it is, okay? People pass down things. Buddhists pass down, people pass down things, family, the world you live in. Again, because this is, especially here in the West, from the invasion from the East. We're not going to play that space like the West invaded the West. That's not the case. Europe is in the East. The prime meridian on the books, not the one that they redid, the original ones. See, again, you're dealing with the scientific deceiver. The one they did originally, which you can see, right? We're over here, they're over there. That's the East invading the West. And they brought their cultures, their traditions, their customs, and they overrode the ones that were here. Okay? It's hard. It's a hard concept sometimes, but it's something that we have to understand. Much of what you saw, for those who, and your boy is caught up, right? So we're kind of late to the group. But at the end of the day, we're going to put a different view spin on it. With that said, welcome in us a different view family who believe in, who love after, who hunger and thirst, search and seek to find that which is a different view. Family, welcome in. Today's topic is going to be centered around two words. right? We talk about assessing. Now, the word assess means to evaluate or estimate the nature. Again, the word nature, when you look at it, deals with the characteristics of a thing, not just like the grass growing, although grass has certain characteristics to it. Not just a, shrub or bush growing, although that has characteristics to it. We're also talking about the nature of people. We're talking about the nature, the same thing you do with animals. They have a nature. Family, the canine has a certain nature. The feline has a certain nature. Again, switch out the word characteristics with nature to help you understand it a little bit better. There is a certain way by which certain people groups operate. What we like to do here on this podcast is level the playing field, because we can see in history there are certain groups here that they're bloodlusty. They like battling. They like killing. They like doing these things. Okay? One group's different than the other. We talked about doubt. The word doubt is dealing with you being beyond not convicting someone. Let's just do it in real time, right? We have to be able to assess or evaluate, we have to be able to assess, which means to evaluate or estimate the nature, ability, or quality of something or someone. Okay. This falls in line with the word discernment. We'll just put it on the books real quick. Just for fun. Just for fun. Nothing. Perceive or recognize. Okay. That's all discern means, to perceive or recognize. We have seen verses in the Bible that talk about that kind of thing, right? So we're gonna have fun with it. Perceive means to become aware. Brothers and sisters, maybe we need to get less on our conscience, brothers and sisters, and just start understanding certain things they're saying. Okay? When your Muslim brothers and sisters are talking about the pig, that's not just because they just don't like pigs. That deals in the science of what goes on by what animals eat, and then you eating that eat. Okay? This has got nothing to do. And it was disrespectful a couple years ago. You can find a video online of a bunch of Christian brothers, right, acting wrongly, throwing bacon in front of our Muslim brothers and sisters' faces while they were praying. That's wrong, right? There's no evangelism going on there. You're not doing anything but acting recklessly, and you should be called out as so by the group. So we do that over here. Become aware or conscious of something. Come to realize or to understand. So let's just do some of these things in the middle here, right? Understand. Because again, see, we live in a world where we allow ourselves to be dumbed down. Again, comes back to perceive the intended meaning of. Now they put in brackets words, or a language, or a speaker, right? Again, understand. Go behind the scenes. Go a little bit further, family. That's what we intend to do on this podcast continuously. When you hear discernment, family, all it means is be aware. Perceive something. See what the play is. Family, what you've been watching going on in the East, unfortunately, it's time for peace. Just because people groups back in the day could not get along does not mean you can't get along now. Don't use the Torah to do it. We could play y'all a video of a rabbi talking about how the Torah allows for slavery, family. We could play it to you. It's on YouTube. We'll get there. We got Juneteenth coming. Maybe we'll use it for then, right? Family, there's a basis by which people do the things they do. And in the TV show Bridgerton, you see it. I say TV show. We don't do streaming, all that kind of thing. Shout out Daredevil season 2 one time. We gotta get into it. We're gonna do a little commentary on it as we go along in the season, right? We'll do it. Maybe we'll split it between TikTok and Spotify, so y'all keep up with it. Again, we say like, share, and subscribe to the podcast a lot, right? This is to get information out, not just for the clout and all that kind of thing. Although that is something that innate comes with things. Okay, so although we don't do it for that, right? So especially in this space, because this is not the popular stuff. The popular stuff is making fun of the black woman, the Asian woman, women in general, right? Since this is women's, we got a few more days left, 6 days, right? In Women's History Month, okay? We know the Ides of March is in there. We know that St. Patrick's Day is in there, but just a little bit more importantly, right? Some of the things that something should stand for the woman, the feminine family, right? And one of those things as part of their history, like other parts of the slave class in human history, especially today, is being made fun of. We don't subscribe to the sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never hurt us. No, family. Life and death is what your Bible says is in the power, the ability of the tongue, aka to speak. Our words cause pain, and our words create healing. We have to let go much of the mess. It's going to be some old school stuff we used to say on the podcast, family, but we got to bring it up because repetition is necessary for learning. Before I go any further, you can find the podcast on YouTube. The channel is at A Different View 80. The @ symbol, then again, the phrase A Different View, the number 80, right? That's on YouTube. TikTok, it's at KJ's Clock. Some of the stuff that I've put on, I've actually titled some of the episodes, so you can find the ones where I'm actually talking podcast-wise, so on and so forth. TikTok Lives is normally what I'll call it, and we'll put the titles there when you're looking again. At KJ's Clock. Spotify, that's the OG group, right? Shout out to OG group one time. Talking about OGs, right? And since I'm a wrestling fan, the young OG, right? The young OG, Javon Evans, shout you out, bro. We'll just take the space to talk about this before we get into Bridgerton here, man. Javon Evans is good to see right now. We're gonna get into Obafemi in a minute. Javon Evans is good to see right now. And just to let everybody know, right, this is what we got to say as far as this podcast is concerned. Just reiterating the words of Javon Evans.
Help or what? Help you what? Help. Well, you want me to get you disqualified?
And Javon Evans taking advantage of that mini argument between.
Hey, Corey, we outside!
You know what I'm talking about, family? Hey, we outside. We out here, family, right? We out here. We moving and grooving. We ain't got no more time for the haterade. This is what we started off with this first opening thing here. Just some stuff, just reminders, family. We don't put it in the Zen category. We don't put it in none of that. These are reminders, family, coming from life, godliness. You could put the universe in there, however you need to say it. At the end of the day, you need to let go the fool in your life. The person who is a deceiver. That's what the word fool means, to deceive, trick. We're talking the secondary definition, not the one that talks about messing around with making fun of people's intelligence. Family, let go of the fool in your life. If the road must be that you must walk alone on it, so be it. There are times, seasons is what we are told, under heaven, under the sun, under the moon, under the stars. In this reality, there will be times that you walk alone. Embrace those times. No. Don't get scared. Take that fear and turn it into positive energy. One of the laws of this universe, put here by the maker, is how we say it on the podcast, by the creator, is the law of transmutated energy. Now, you can get tripped up in your mind on that, family. All it means, when you look at the word transmuted, is something transformed. Life transforms itself in many ways. Day turns to night. Go turns to stop. Go turns to stop sometimes, family. Stop turns to go sometimes. We have to discern these things. That's our job. Not the one, not the four-walled cubicle not Master's plantation, not that job. Your life. The job that you work on is to support your life. your Jamaican brothers and sisters. I had heard this on the thing, and it's true when you go and you look around. But this is, it's just reiterated so it comes up to your mind. Again, we have to put ourselves in remembrance. Since we're coming up on Easter time, Lent season, look, this is the time of sacrifice, right? At the end of the day, man, we like boiling down things because people like staying in a space where they get all holier than thou. Understand that in your mind, you got to sacrifice the idea that you know it all. Don't you know we don't know it all, family? Who knows it all? And anybody tell you they know it all, that they know a good amount, you don't know it all. Because for whatever you know, there's more to know. That's the way life has been made. Just to keep you on your toes. Nah, family, we outside, okay? We outside, and again. So, I think I did this. I might have did this on TikTok, right? Obafemi, he's doing his thing. He's whooping Brock Lesnar's ass, right? We get it. And then, in between his powerful black man image over a dick bag of a man, let's just be honest, right? Okay, there's no other way. We're not gonna fantasize Brock Lesnar over here. Not all these allegations, these things, family. We're not doing that. Okay. At the end of the day, y'all can look up the allegations that Brock Lesnar is under. We say allegations. Okay. We know what this is. We know the play. Massa, again, family, learn to perceive the thing. Look what it is. They always give you an entertainment value that has, we're talking about as long as you're dealing with Massa. You will always have an entertainment value that screws you. They're not going to give you the whole image. This is why Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan are still in NXT. And they gave you Jade Cargill and Lash Legend. Family, they know black folks want imagery. They also know we won't go create our own. So what they gonna give you is half-ass. They dish it right to your face. Baseball season is coming up, and it's a good time to remember the Negro Leagues. Every time MLB opens its doors, I believe today is the first day of baseball season. Every time, it's just same thing with the Olympics. Every time, it's just a good reminder as to how messed up Massa is. Folks are going to go and they're going to have their hot dogs and they're going to have their popcorn. They're going to have their Cracker Jacks. They're going to sing, "Take me out to the ball game," right? They're going to do all of that. And at the end of the day, underneath the surface is sickness that they refuse to recognize. That when you look at the population of the Negro in baseball, it's much lower to your brown cousin, your Latin brother and sister. Yet, when it came calling to the Negro Leagues back in the day, which is the reason why it shut down. Now, because of lack of popularity and stuff, they siphoned away the stars. Of course, Jackie, we know, is one of them, right? Jackie Robinson. They siphoned away the stars. They took the doubleheader. You can look it up, family. You can look it up. We're not even look at the different things. You just look up on your phone. What are the different aspects of the Negro Leagues that Major League Baseball uses today? And you find out for yourself. But again, going back to Obafemi, it's unfortunate looking at how he whooping Brock Lesnar's ass right now. And then you hear things like this.
Who taught you to dream big? Who did teach you to dream big?
Saturday morning cartoons.
I just recognize the pattern of everyone who was successful. They weren't afraid to dream wild.
Like who?
Name one. Elon.
Yeah.
Here comes the hate now.
Haters gonna hate. And ain'ters gonna ain't.
Okay, moving on.
This man said Elon Musk? Bro, the people who taught you to dream big, not Carter G. Woodson, not Frederick Douglass, not Harriet Tubman, Nina Simone, Assata Shakur, Bernice King, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Elon Musk. Let me see if I can find the right sound on this one. Let's just see. Yeah, we got it right. Hold on. It's that important. Let me play it again. Let's continue.
Joe Rogan, like, whoever.
But I mean, are these
Joe Rogan? Family, the first two people here, right? Because the next one he names gets a little bit into obscurity. We see where it's going with the next one that he talks about. But the first two, family, you just look up Elon Musk's views on black folks. Well, how did I say it? Elon Musk's views on black people. And then you do the same thing. You just switch out the name. Put Joe Rogan's views on black people. And then you tell me these were the men that helped you dream big, bro. Wait. We said dream. Who? For who? Which dream? Family, we told you there's other ways in the camp, in the village, in the town, in the city by which we say a thing. One of them, right? There's another way of saying this. Way we say it on the podcast is mastocytosis. We're dealing with folks today, and it's not just today, it's always been, where they have an unnecessary sympathy for massa. These men don't give a damn about the Negro, about brown folks, about tan people. They don't care. It's solely to serve their self-interest, no different than in Bridgerton. Anthony, Daphne, family, I don't give a damn. These people, they were, unfortunately, right, the byproduct, because when you look at Anthony's dad dying in season 2, you know that's tough, right? Again, we don't have a sympathy here. We're just naming what it is. Your father dies from a bee sting to the neck and dies from asphyxiation from that? From the chemical reaction it causes, and you ain't getting rushed to the hospital. Ain't no EpiPen going on, family. Come on, this is back in the 1800s. What do you... There ain't no, it's maybe 1700s. They ain't no, come on now. What you getting? That's a tragic event, of which serious therapy is needed. We don't play in that space like therapy's not needed. I understand many of our brothers go there. Men go there. Everybody goes there. It's needed. Walking around with all this fool-headed stuff in the mind, and you gonna try to get married to people like that? Simon gonna try to get married to Daphne? How you gonna get married to Daphne, bro? And you know your dad was a jackass. Look, hey. Father's Day is coming up soon. Mother's Day is before that. Parents are jackasses in many instances. See, your Bible says that you walk the narrow road. So everybody else around you walking that broad road that's acting foolish, family. The people who aren't into this mess, who aren't stuck on looking at the shine of the diamond, but they care about the diamond itself, we operate different. There's different characteristics, family. We out here loving nature, not trying to siphon it for its gold and diamonds, blowing up people's territories for its oil. We do two different things. Family, you got to be able to see that. Not to hurt them, protect yourself. There's a difference. Let's continue.
people that you were following that helped?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
those are a couple good ones. Yeah.
Crazy, but they're good men.
I listened to a lot of Joe Rogan when I was in college.
You know, while I'm looking at this, and it's a little bit of a joke. You know, shout out to RC Gate on TikTok for reposting this, or for chopping it up and posting this like this. Family, what are we talking about? Huh? Good men? Why do we do that? Again, we suffer from mastocytosis. Hey, if scientists, if twisted evil men could make up drapetomania, they said drapetomania was a sickness. They made it up. It wasn't a thing. They just made it up. That when the slave wanted to get away and run away from the plantation, that mentally they were sick. It was an illness. You're supposed to stay around them. Again, we already talked about earlier in the podcast, early in this episode here, where the Torah, we talking rabbis explaining the Torah. Talmud, Torah, however they need to say it. Tell it that God is telling you slavery was right. No. See, it was a different kind of slavery. It wasn't chattel slavery. Take all that and shove it. Do you understand, family? We talking about those over here who don't deal in that mess. You don't need to enslave, indentured servitude, whatever term you need to use. You don't have to do that to operate in this life. And if you think the maker is the one who said that, we're telling you, you are looking at two different deities. We have no problem on this podcast saying it. People want to say it's crazy, it's disingenuous, so on and so forth. That's your business. We're letting you know you're looking at two different. You're not having one make life and have it sustained, and then having the same deity make the life. What kind of weird God is that? This is why people have no chill, and you shouldn't, because that mess don't make sense. The one loving you is not then sending people to kill you, family, okay? For land. That's not, no. Anyway, let's continue.
Knowledge.
Yeah.
A lot of Joe Rogan, and he had this mindset of like, go out there, go and do it. And
Yes.
yeah. David Goggins. Like the man, the myth, the legend. He's a machine. Like
Now, David Goggins gets in a very weird space the more you start to look up the brother, because some people like to hide their bigotry in ambiguity. You can look up the word ambiguity, right? This is something that we know. Again, you just don't come right out. This is the ambiguity deals between overt and covert, right? Covert's under the scenes, not conspiracy. We're talking about where you microaggressive kind of stuff. It may not fully look like they're taking a shot at you, but they're taking a shot at you. That's the kind of space David Goggins likes to live in. Again, we're talking about when you look up stuff. This is what it is. So family, at the end of the day, while you're watching one thing on Monday Night Raw, know that this is what's going on behind the scenes. And that's hurt. That one hurt. That one hurt a little bit. Because again, this brother's out here. You got the kids is dancing to this thing. You know what I'm saying? His steps. They're doing his steps, because again, the law of rhythm is a thing that shows between people. So they go, and it's shared between people. So they go into his steps. Grown men, grown as white folks, black folks. We all just, we doing the whole thing, right? And this is the mess that's going on behind the scenes. How can you get behind that? Well, you just brush it across. See, again, you know why we keep getting screwed by massa? Because we keep brushing things under the rug we shouldn't. And then the things that we need to use that we put under the rug we should, that we don't. In The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson, right? Again, there's different PDFs you can find if you have the book. I suggest everybody have the book. Excuse me, on page 20 in this book, right? I'm using different PDF on online, but again, if you have the book, check this out. It is unfortunate too that the educated Negro. Now, when he uses educated, it's a little bit of a play on words, because again, as Big Mama said, sometimes the more educated folks get, the dumber they are. So this is kind of where this is coming from. And that's because of the 9 areas of people activity told to us by Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. Education is one of them. Massa has control of that. So you will never be educated correctly. So even though like you're high up on the hog, as they say, maybe we shouldn't be so high up on that hog. But anyway, at the end of the day, family, certain things should be used for delicatessens. It's the same for delicacies. This is the same thing with not as a way of food. I have to come right out and say that, right? This is your mind as you start changing about how you eat. And again, masses, nutrition, education on nutrition, they control this. So once you start understanding certain things, you're like, maybe we've been doing this maybe we've been doing it backwards the whole time. Same thing with 3 meals a day. Why would you eat 3 meals a day? Do you know how long it takes the body to digest one? Maybe if we ate 3, we would eat foods that are easier to digest if you're going to eat that much. Or you just stop eating as much. Some of us are addicted to eating, family. Don't you know that? It gets in a weird space, you try to cut back. Yet we have the power to do it. Don't get me wrong. I have to say that to empower people. We have the power to do it. Me, everybody, right? It is unfortunate. Let me get back to this. It is unfortunate, too, that the educated Negro does not understand or is unwilling. And in many cases, it's both. It's both. Sometimes you see one or the other, sometimes a mixture of both. The Negro does not understand or is unwilling to start small enterprises, which make the larger ones possible. Family got to start out small. Sometimes that happens. You got to start out small. We got to support each other. See, when good old Black Friday rolls around, right? We've talked about the farce that is. Support. Listen. If you have a problem with large corporations, just do all your shopping in small businesses. We all know friends of friends of friends and family who have small businesses. Support them. That's how you do it. Anyway, again, we understand we some hoes for entertainment. Family just got to say it how it is, right? While we keep making fun of the woman out there screwing for money, at the end of the day, we some hoes for entertainment. We some hoes for pleasure. So we don't want some of these big box retailers going anywhere. But family, you can get the same thing in a smaller environment. Sometimes more personal. That's why folks out in the country like the life family it's a different thing than anyway. I'm gonna leave it alone. Some people, if you know, you know, right? That's how they say it. If he cannot proceed, Carter G. Woodson goes on to say, if he cannot proceed according to the methods of the gigantic corporations about which he reads in books, he does not know how to take hold of things and organize the communities of the poor along lines of small businesses. The man is giving us the code. Will we take it? You know, when you talk about Oklahoma, I know, I feel preachy at the moment. I know that there is this idea that it is just Black Wall Street in the Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Family. Your brother is here today to let you know Oklahoma was one of the it was at one point the hub of black towns, with over 50 from what you see on the books. You look up towns like Boley, Langston. Look up one that was called the black capital, Tallahassee, not like Tallahassee down in Florida, Tulla. So just switch out the A for the U. And then you ask yourself the question why you didn't know about it until your brother just told you. That's because one of the other, entertainment, education, labor, family, these are the things they rule and reside over. When you look in the TV show Bridgerton, right? And the breakdown we just mentioned about Simon, okay? We understand that your daddy was horrible to you, bro. Brothers and sisters, we're talking about the road we have to walk to have wholeness so we do not pass down generational curses to each other. Now we start passing down generational blessings, right? This is the part we run around the church for. So this is the real work here. The harm your parents did to you, because many of them, not all of them, many of them, you can look at the 40, I'm 46, brothers and sisters, right? I just had my 46th birthday. And you look around at the group. I could look inside the White House and see some of the 40-year-olds around me. Brothers and sisters, this is the same thing for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90-year-olds, 30, 20, and the 10s-year-olds, okay? Folks are training people to be jerks to each other, dickbags, assholes, fools. And then there are others who are not. This ain't no diss on nobody. This is what it is. There is a way by which we can train the youth and teach them and show them. You start off in small businesses. Everything that you do when it comes to school, work for a passion for yourself. Some of this will sound familiar from what you hear from the man, but this is the truth. We're not twisting anything here. You work for a passion for yourself. You up in that school, up in that class, let your brother, uncle talk to y'all one time, man. You up at family, parents, play this section of the podcast for your kids. You up in school, you do the thing that's a passion for you, not because daddy like it, not because mama like it. What do you like to do? And you experiment. Now, for parents, it might, you might knee jerk back a little bit when you hear this. Listen, sometimes it might start off with the artist thing. They might not like that. Okay. When we say experiment, just please. Okay. Indulge your boy mentally for a minute. We're not going down that weird road. All right. This is what it is. And not for nothing, when we talk about the things that aren't so cool, if you had the ability to do it, and we understand you want to stop your kids from doing it, maybe you have to have some sometimes you got to fall and learn something, family. You learn sometimes. I did not say all the time, because we like to stay in that mental space. Sometimes we learn through falling, family. Just as much as we do walking. Just as much as we do running. We also learn through falling. Again, we don't know it all. So many times we're going to fall. And then we get back up and we keep on walking. Oh, man, if I could play that song, man. I got 16 miles to go now. I can't. I guess it would be considered an old R&B song. Let me see if I can look it up just to let people know. It's like I keep on walking. I can't hit those notes right. Let's just see. In the song, it's like I keep on walking, right? And I gotta walk on. Let's see if I can do it this way, just so people know what I'm talking about. Let's do it again. Oh boy. They're not naming what I'm looking for. So I don't know what to tell y'all, man. It's an old song that says "Walk On," right? And how they're miles and miles from home and they got to keep on walking. That's what it's like in life, family. You just keep on walking. We got to keep going. Okay? And sometimes you fall, get back up again. And in this TV show, even though Simon, Papa did you wrong in the first season. He was wrong. Parents, you're wrong for holding your kids down because of ailments they have. Holding them back because of certain ways they don't operate like you do. It's wrong. That's not the right behavior. We don't care if your grandpapa or what. See, this is what I mean about therapy, family. We don't care if that you're passing down the wrong to them. Same thing with the mamas. You watch this in this TV show, Bridgerton, the way Lady Featherington, right? Weird. Oof. Anyway. The way she operates this, who is marrying off their daughter to their fourth cousin, brothers and sisters? What? What kind of? And then when you look up historically, that's how you got down. See, don't make fun of the redneck as much, brothers and sisters. Look to the sickness that this is. for social status, to keep social status, kid, you talk about all in the family. No, brothers and sisters, there's more than enough men and women down here that we can marry off to. We don't have to do it that way. And I know people get in the space. Well, what about when there was less people here? We understand where folks go with it. Okay, we just let you know you don't have to go down that road, right? We can just keep on walking down a different road, family. All right. At the end of the day, what is she doing? And again, getting back to Simon here. Really, you just added an element into your relationship you didn't need to. Just be truthful. Just say, hey man, this man screwed me up, brothers. We're gonna have to be more open. How can you want the lady in your life to open up to you, and yet you kind of open up to her, brothers? Don't you know that's unequally yoked? And we are told to not be unequally yoked. I know we like to go to the non-believer part. Look further, family. Unequally yoked. Y'all walk life together. That is the yoke. It's not a burden. That burden is light now. Walking this life together with somebody who understands you, loves you, allows for a space for you to grow your own stuff, family. We say it on everything. When it comes to marriage, believe this. When it comes to relationships in general, this is business or romantic, any type of relationship, there has to be growth for you. There has to be growth for them. There has to be growth together. If that stuff is not there, it's broken, which is why the job is the employment process relationship between employer and employee is broken. Employee Appreciation Day was the beginning of this month, family. Listen, the employee will never be appreciated under master system. It's not gonna, you'll be kinda. They may even give you a cute pen if you work there for, 7, 8, 9, 12 years, maybe a nice little watch. It won't be a Rolex. Maybe in a business that makes a lot of money, maybe some private, public, I don't know, either one, right? Maybe somewhere they give it, maybe, not so much. Again, when you take away PTO and, you take away how much vacation you can accrue, and when you start, listen, you're not appreciated. Okay, the word we already went over that. I think I did it on TikTok. I may not have done it on Spotify. The idea, family, of the word appreciate means an increase in under. Look, let's just do this in real time. Let's just do it in real time for folks, man. We ain't appreciate. Okay, recognize the full worth of. Do you think Massa recognize your full worth? He'll never. So they got a smile on the face. Again, it's the OJ's told you. All the time want to take your place. That's a backstabber, right? We're off that over here. That woman at home cooking, that's a job at the house. And you gonna lay up with her, have 2, 3 kids? It's enough chasing 1, 2, and 3. Then they get older, they gotta go to all these different sporting events. If you're gonna get involved in their life, you're probably gonna be on the PTA. So you're doing all these things, family, and you come home. Yeah, we know you worked that 40-hour job, brother. You worked that 80-hour job, whatever master got you doing, right? To make that money, because he got us all hoed out for money. But at the same time, family, what? And you gonna talk about what she ain't did at the house? Don't you understand this is part of women history, family? This is part of the woman's experience in this planet. Don't you think we ought to be more gracious? Maybe a second bouquet of flowers this Mother's Day. Don't worry, ladies. They come the other way around for the brothers, because Massa got us both under hell. See, that's the part where we screw up, because we were thinking it's one or the other. No, they got you both. They got us both by the nutsack. They grabbing the man by his male genitalia. They grabbing y'all ladies by your female one, right? It's the kind of president we voted for, right? One that grabs the woman by the you know what. Family, this is the ass backward behavior. So I mean, this is just a quick recap on Bridgerton, man. We ain't even going hard. How long are we in? 45 minutes. It's time. Oh Lord, it's time to wrap up. Let me see. We called this to catch up because we did some things here. I could get into the so or so with the word, right? We could get into that verse. To those who have ears, to them who have ears to hear, we could get into that part of the verse. Again, this is just the thing, family, okay? Some people don't want to hear nothing that you saying. So it ain't for y'all. It's for the people who want to hear this, who need to hear this. Speaking of hearing, faith or the ability to believe. That's belief, family. This is all what faith is. Do not make it spooky. Comes by hearing. We've gone over this before. We're just reiterating. It comes by hearing. Now, of course, we know the hearing by the word of God part. This is what all the Christians are shouting loud in the background while they listen to this. Family, we're talking about what you believe comes by hearing. You keep hearing that people groups should not marry together because some weirdo who is a Presbyterian or his granddaddy was a Presbyterian working for massa decided to come up with the Racial Integrity Act that strictly restricted and prohibited on many levels, because what you did was rewrite out those people. So you put the 13th Amendment in for the Negro, but then came back with an act of people who would be with Negroes that you can't have nothing because we're going to reclassify you purposefully. That's not your ability to do. Those people are still valid regardless of whether you made a society that is so-called white or not. You don't own the cattle on 1,000 hills. Again, while people go into the Torah for other mess, you don't own the cattle on 1,000 hills. That's God, right? So now, if God owns and made the cattle, don't you think it's the people too? And don't you think those same people are free to roam like every cattle is? Somebody got this thing backward, family. And they're trying to get you to believe it. Stop believing it. The brown cows can be with the brown cows, can be with the tan cows, can be with the dark brown cows. All the mixing. That's why you see all them skin color variations the way you do, family. Blessed skin tone shades. We have to renew our thinking, family. The word rant and ramble. Yeah, this is a whole lot of stuff. You know, the Spider-Man trailer, again, I think is going to be fire, right? If y'all haven't seen it already, the movie specifically, I think is going to be fire. The Spider-Man trailer was great. Maybe we'll save that for the next time round. This mess, we're talking about folks in my age bracket, Mr. Pete Hegseth, bro. Well, listen, we have no chill for you taking tax dollars and spend them on seafood for your buddies. But family, we do not, you can look up how much money the man spent on seafood, furniture, just because again, you got to spend the money. Nothing went to black folks. Nothing went to Latinos, nothing. So you shipped them back to Mexico. Maybe since you basically took away the border from them, maybe give them some money. You did the same thing in Haiti. Because of the attack in Venezuela, the same thing is happening in Cuba. I know we don't want to say it that way, but Cuba is suffering because of what they did in Venezuela, because people rely on each other. This is a breakdown, family. The man openly came out and said he was going to take Cuba. You can look it up online. We're playing a dangerous game. And it ends in, as we've always said on this podcast, in three main ways. It splits off, but three main ways. Division, destruction, and death. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked through history. They come through either using the missionary. Again, we're talking patsies for massa. That's why there's a difference between these things. You look at your Rastafarian brothers and sisters, even the gypsies. You look at the gypsy. You look any people group out here where it's kind of like this. The hippies the same way. Anything that's a free, just at the base nature of what they believe. This free kind of, because family, that's what it is. Who's giving folks a passport to go? If I wanted to travel from where I'm at now to over in anywhere, Africa, the East, right where our Semite brothers and sisters are, which is a dangerous area right now, right? But don't worry, this is the level of danger everywhere, right? Because again, For as long as mass is sending out ICE agents all over the place to cart people away, kill them, or whatever they're doing, family is dangerous right now, right? But again, it always has been. Would you think it was dangerous for your black brothers and sisters standing up for freedom, having dogs and fire hoses sicked on them? This is what you hear all the time, right? Maybe it was dangerous when the so-called white man was taking the so-called black man's children and black woman's children and throwing them in crocodile-infested waters that Tyler Perry has to joke about in the movie Joe's College Trip. Was it dangerous then? Was it dangerous to have intercultural marriages, interracial marriages? Maybe. Maybe when they were illegal, they'd throw you in jail and do worse, because the black man shouldn't touch the white woman. Was it dangerous when they were taking away the black man out of the black home, away from the black woman, setting a division between people where they hate each other instead of loving each other? Maybe it was dangerous then, which is why we say, brothers and sisters, it's time to do more acceptance. Nobody is saying that we're supposed to put up with mass as mess. There is a difference between the two. Divide rightly between this is what it's telling you in this. Divide rightly. These are two different things, family. Nobody talking about having no mess for people who gonna sit there and tell you God see no color. I can see my color. Clearly somebody made it. It wasn't me. I didn't pour the dark brown on my skin. Right? Family, the imagery by which mass is playing with is dangerous and is documented. Changing around words. Violence between our native brothers and sisters. Yeah, we fought. It don't matter. It's time to come together. Because at the end of the day, while we were fighting, mass was on the top of our head, taking away everything that we had down here. Everything. Again, this is documented on the books. All that cavalry mess we keep playing, this cowboys and Indian stuff, man, was mess. Not to mention that the word cowboy is a disrespectful term because ain't nobody a boy. There was a cowhand. We all know it. And then you wanted to switch up to say it a different way. Because you disrespect people groups down here. You don't appreciate. That's the broad amount of people, not the small amount. Small amount do. And it shows in their actions. They're willing to stand with every people group down here, especially the ones who have been degraded. There is no gender supremacy anywhere. Each one of us has a role to play. The young have a place in life just the same as the old does. This is the even playing field by which the Maker made it. You know, a little bit of laugh is in my voice as I'm saying that because, again, I'm thinking of The Mandalorian. That's going to come out. This movie, The Mandalorian, is going to come out, and obviously the TV show that's been out on Disney Plus. At the end of the day, family, this is the way. This is the way. Family, that's where we're going to stop today. Because again, we ain't trying to take up too much time. I done took up enough, right? Family, thank you very much for walking this road with me. Again, y'all be careful of some of the stuff that's been passed down, man. It's mess. It's mess. We don't have to function this way with each other, right? It's been a minute since I've been on, so a little bit of a 50-minute, hour-long little ditty, right? Again, family, we love y'all. God bless y'all. Thank you very much for walking this road with your brother today, right? Again, I never ever mean harm to anybody. This is only seeking and sharing the truth, family. This is what this is over here, right? Thank you, family, for walking this road today with me. And as always, and until next time, look to find the beauty in a different view.